Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I am pleased to highlight for this honorable House and the public that today the government will be tabling amendments to the Bermuda Health Council Act 2004 to bring about important and overdue changes to the high cost of medications faced by many Bermudians. Our high cost of health care, an aging population, and an increasing incidence of chronic diseases such as diabetes all contribute to the burden felt by many in our community. Even though we can appreciate that science continues to give us new medications and treatments for managing our health, it has been clear for at least the last 10 years that our people are concerned about the price they have to pay for these medicines. For example, in the Health Council's 2017 Health Services Survey, residents clearly said that medication was too expensive and that they needed more help getting medicines for the elderly. Mr. Speaker, the Progressive Labor Party heard the cry of residents, and today we are taking steps to address this. Mr. Speaker, the largest out-of-pocket health spending for members in our community is on medication. Just looking at insurance claims, more than 1 in every 5 claims is for a prescription medication. The only claim higher is for people getting services at the hospital. According to the most recent National Health Accounts report, medications accounted for at least 5.7% of total healthcare spending in fiscal year 2017-18. The Council indicates that it is at least that amount because there are large pockets of spending and use of prescription medications that are not part of the collected data. The system right now just is not set up to properly track how many medications we buy, sell, or use. While insurance covers 80% of the cost of the majority of medications that we use, some medications cost tens of thousands of dollars. And for those with chronic conditions, having to pay that 20% of every single medication that you need really adds up. For seniors on Future Care, the coverage for medication comes with a cap of $2,000 a year. While financial assistance pays for its clients to receive prescription medications, those not on financial assistance but with the health insurance plan must pay for all their medications out of pocket. This has been highlighted during the current coronavirus pandemic as more and more companies are moving their employees to HIP and leaving them without equitable access to medication. Mr. Speaker, in an age where access to medications is not equitable or even promised, medications that can keep people out of the hospital or away from life-changing complications, we need to have more regulations to combat their cost. Right now, cost controls, price setting, cost regulation, cost limits, and additional fees for medications are privately set by private companies without government control or intervention. While all pharmaceuticals must be purchased abroad and are imported duty-free, there's a lack of clarity around the pricing structure of drugs at the final point of sale to the public. Investigations undertaken by the Health Council, including extensive stakeholder consultation with public and private insurers, pharmaceutical wholesalers, pharmacy owners, the Pharmacy Council, physician representatives, and others, has identified that the introduction of a national drug formulary as an appropriate means by which drug affordability could be pursued. This was not an original concept from the Council, but part of recommendations that had been made over time in multiple expert reports such as the Orton Report, Arthur Anderson Report, and the Todd Report. Mr. Speaker, honorable members may be aware that under Section 5H of the Bermuda Health Council Act 2004, the Health Council has authority to, quote, regulate the price at which drugs are sold to the public, end quote. This was established at its inception to be a part of its mandate, and until now, the Council has not exercised this authority because it is not yet developed the necessary regulatory regime and the regulations did not exist. Mr. Speaker, the purpose of the Bermuda Health Council Amendment Act 2021 being tabled today is to support the function of the Council in regulating the price at which drugs are sold to the public by establishing in law the Bermuda Health Council Drug Formulary Regulations 2021. To be clear, Mr. Speaker, the purpose is not to control the price of every medication sold in Bermuda. Rather, the Bermuda Drug Formulary will comprise a list of common essential medications, such as metformin, which is used for type 2 diabetes, or prednisone, which is used in the treatment of arthritis, blood disorders, cancer, and eye problems, along with other associated products and devices used in medical treatments, which are intended to be medically appropriate, cost-effective, and sold at a regulated price. Mr. Speaker, this work of determining what is on the list will be carried out by the new Pharmacy and Therapeutics Committee, which is appointed by the Minister of Health in consultation with the Health Council. The main function of the committee is to advise the Council on the Bermuda Drug Formulary. The committee will be appropriately representative of industry, including a member from the Council's board to be the chairperson and a member of the Council Secretariat, a representative of the local pharmaceutical market nominated by the Pharmacy Council, a representative of the local health services market nominated by a registered health statutory board such as the Bermuda Medical Council, an international representative of a pharmaceutical market in the region, and others representing relevant areas of health expertise as appropriate, such as cancer specialists, pharmacy owners, dietitians, senior patients advocates, and GPs, as determined by the Minister and Council, and up to a maximum of 9 people at any given time. Mr. Speaker, the Pharmacy and Therapeutics Committee will have a key role in, among other matters, evaluating drug utilization in Bermuda and assessing new drug classes and clinical indications. The committee will determine how medical products will be added to or deleted from the drug formulary. The committee will develop its recommendations on the list of medications for the drug formulary for final approval of the Bermuda Medical Council. To support understanding of the local use of medications and conditions that can best treat, the Council will have the authority to require the submissions of select data from insurers, pharmacies, medical practices.
It's 7 and just take us through to the end of it.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, the top of page 7, with the top of page 7.
I'll tell you what, the paragraph that begins, Mr. Speaker, the new regulations will be also provide the council with.
Very well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the new regulations will also provide the council with the ability to participate as a negotiator on behalf of Bermuda in the procurement of medical products. The council may partner with a local pharmacy or importer to assist in securing the best possible drug prices for the Bermuda public. It has been said in the past that Bermuda could do much better when it comes to negotiating improved prices out on the international prescription drug market. Mr. Speaker, pharmaceuticals are clinically medications which are the most effective non-behavioral intervention for non-communicable diseases. Pharmaceutical intervention saves money and interrupts the cost and burden of disease progression, but doing so with efficiency requires cost control. As such, the implementation of regulations that support the function of the Bermuda Health Council in regulating the price at which drugs are sold to the public will provide welcome benefit to the community. Mr. Speaker, the Progressive Labor Party promised Bermuda in 2020 party platform that it would establish a national drug formulary that will set maximum pricing for common essential medications, which reduce costs to consumers. Mr. Speaker, promises made and promises delivered. Thank you.